Hello, this is Thad Hall with Forest Marsh Group. In this video, we'll be reviewing Section F of the Election Administration and Voting Survey. Section F covers Election Day activities. Before we begin, it will be helpful for you to have two documents with you as we review these slides. First, a copy of the Election Administration and Voting Survey instrument, and second, a copy of the supplemental instruction manual that goes along with the survey instrument. So what is in Section F? Section F covers three primary topics. First, the number of people who participated in the election and the mode that they used to participate. Second, the type of voter list that was used in the polling places in the 2016 general election. And finally, the types of voting technologies that were used in your jurisdiction. So the first question, F1A, is asking about the number of people who participated in the general election. And by participate, we mean anyone who attempted to vote. So for instance, a voter who mails in their absentee ballot, but that absentee ballot is rejected, they still participated in the election even though their vote was not ultimately counted. In questions F1B through F1G, you're being asked to break down the total number of participants by the mode that was used for participation. So how many people participated by going to a polling place on election day, how many people were absentee voters who submitted a ballot, or how many people participated in early voting. Question F2 is asking for the source of your participation number. Was it the number of people who voted in person and signed into the poll book, plus all absentee and UOCAVA ballots returned by voters? Was it the number of individuals who were given credit for voting in the voter history files, or was it another method that you used to report the numbers in question F1? Question F3 is asking about first-time registrants who submitted a registration form by mail and asking if they ultimately showed identification and had their ballot counted. Under Section 303 of HAVA, an individual who registers to vote by mail is required to submit specific types of identification or provide specific information so that their registration can be validated and then they can participate. So for this question, if an individual mailed in a copy of their driver's license and appropriate identification along with their registration, and then they voted, you would include them in this answer. You would also include an individual who registered by mail and did not submit any form of identification, but ultimately identified themselves with the appropriate identification at the polling place, cast a ballot, and voted. If your jurisdiction has a computerized voter registration list that complies with HAVA Section 303, you can answer not applicable to this question. For question F4, you're being asked if you used electronic poll books in the 2016 general election. So if you did use electronic poll books, you should answer yes for how you use them. Did you use them to sign in voters, update voter history, look up polling places, or some other use? If you used a printed poll book, here you would answer yes to question F5, and then for F6, just say who printed the poll books. Was it the state, the local jurisdiction, or some combination? For question F7, this is perhaps the most time-consuming question to answer. You're being asked which voting technologies did you use in the election, and you may have used different voting technologies for different purposes. So for instance, you may be using a direct recording electronic or DRE voting system for individuals with disabilities in your polling locations, but using optical scan for absentee and in-person voting. You'll want to fill out the form, which looks like this, and just record the answers that are appropriate. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Most questions about the EAVS can be answered using the supplemental instruction manual. However, if you need additional assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us at EAVS@forestmarshgroup.com. If you email us there, somebody will be back with you within 24 hours to answer any questions that you have. Thank you, and we appreciate your time.